right, day 6. I really just wanted to kind of go through today and talk about what I've been kind of understanding and what I've kind of been going over. And it's pretty much about sales framework, like the conversation framework. And so I recently learned a thing. I just got done watching a video about it, and I wrote some stuff down. You know, it's just a cute little whiteboard, but I'd like to talk about it for a little bit. It's just so it's just through an acronym, and it's just the E.Q.U.I.P.S. And so the E is empathy, and you're pretty much just putting yourself in the other person's shoes and seeing kind of where their pain points are and understanding. We'll get into understanding in a second, but just understanding where they're kind of coming from and why they're going to you for their specific, for your specific, like what you're offering, and what their needs are and everything. And that's empathy. And then the second one is questions with Q, questions. And it's not about just asking questions, but it's about putting it in a specific way to kind of put that idea into their mind of saying, oh, okay, I get it. And so just kind of types of questions, it'll kind of influence their behavior and the way they think. And that takes a big role into them finalizing the sale and being like, okay, I want to do it. And the third one is understanding. And we went back to it. And I wrote down, you don't really want to go any further with questions until you actually understand. Like, you don't want to keep continuing the question. Sorry, I phrased that wrong. Because then it just feels like an interrogation, and you don't want that. You don't want them to feel like, okay, this is kind of uncomfortable. And so with understanding, once you get like the aha moment, then that is whenever you're like, okay, I've got you. I know where you're coming from, which is empathy, and I've asked the questions to where we're kind of on the same level of what this is and what your pain points are and everything. And the I in E.Q.U.I.P.S is insights, and just sharing insights to help like demonstrate what y'all actually do and how it can help them in whatever that is, like fitness. You could say, just trying to think of an example, like if they're wanting to lose 50 pounds in 3 months, you could just demonstrate of what y'all have in y'all's course that is like lowering their calorie intake or doing more reps to consider that cardio instead of just heavy weight, which would be building muscle. Since they're only trying to lose weight and not really gain muscle, it'd be better to, like, you know, just for example, just get the endurance to lose that fat instead of gain muscle. The P in E.Q.U.I.P.S is play a role. You're never going to get the same exact person with the same exact problems. Sometimes you have to be a health coach. Sometimes you have to be a counselor. Sometimes you have to be a, like an accountant with the money. Like, be like, hey man, you might want our course because it can help you save some money. All that stuff in the future. Learn how to get good with money. And you're never going to get the same person. So with all of the empathy questions, understanding, insights, that's all going to show who this person really is and how you need to kind of come off as a person. Because you don't want to be a fitness coach if someone's just trying to get like better saving money. And if you're coming off like all aggressive, like, yeah, man, you could totally do it, it'd be kind of uncomfortable and seem kind of too much for somebody that's just trying to save some money. And so that's a big one, I think. And then the last one is S, and it's stories and proof. And that kind of just gives comfort to people if they're just like, oh, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if I want to put this much money into things. If you tell them like, hey, do you not see, like, this kind of goes back to questions, and it's pretty much like, do you not see like all how many people we've helped and all this stuff, and like testimonials really helps when you show all this. And yeah, I kind of just wanted to go over what I kind of learned tonight. But yeah, I'm gonna spend a couple more days kind of going over this, getting comfortable with not really having to read it, but actually fully understand what every single one of these is. And yeah, see you tomorrow.